everybody has a pressure. Every one of us is under pressure every day and under the stress. And what is so interesting, it's that the pressure and the stress comes and goes even more frequently. In the past, when we think about our past, when we were younger, when we were children, the pressure was so low, not because we were children. Even for adults, the pressure was so low. Everything was stable, we could say. Now it's so fast, everything goes so fast, so smooth that we cannot even follow what is going on anymore. So the pressure comes and goes. Sometimes it's in small amount and small volume, and sometimes the pressure is so huge that we don't understand we don't understand the circumstances, and we don't understand even the cause of this pressure. All what we know is we have to deal with that. And some of the people say, I am not afraid of pressure, I am not afraid of fear, I deal with that. Before I answer actually, and we discuss this in a more detailed aspects, let's think about two people. One person, it's this famous one that it's on TV, that celebrates every other day his fortunes, and it's very famous, and it's a businessman, let's say, very healthy and wealthy. Another person, let's say, goes to work from 7 till 11. That's his life. Now, it's going to be difficult to grasp it, but they are on the same level of potential. We say no. We would say no, Michael, you're wrong, because you see, the one who just got the award and he is on the pedestal, he has won, he is the first one, he is the most famous, one of the richest person. He has everything, everybody knows him, and he can travel wherever he wants, and he has 3 aeroplanes, whatever, and yacht. And the other guy, let's say, it's very poor, he goes to work, pays the bills, it's very tough life for him, he doesn't know what to do anymore. So how can we say that they are on the same level of potential? They are. And both of them are under the stress. Both of them, they are not under the stress, they are under pressure. For some reason, both of them, they are under pressure. And the pressure, of course, is a different one, different quality of pressure, but the potential, they suffer the same. And we say no, because the one has everything, yes, from financial point of view, everything, but from spiritual point of view, from what he has inside, it's pretty much the same. Why is that? You see, because the person who won the first place, now it's at the 0 point. It has to start, we could say, again from the scratch, and it's painful, very painful. So it's very difficult to do it. What the person actually can do is to expand, it's to upgrade the products. That's what people do. They sell more now. The business is really high, so what they can do, they sell more. Okay, and they can do it. They can now sell it for around the world products. Not only nationwide, they now selling everywhere. But that's all right. I understand that, and it's better not to do it than to do it. Of course, it's great that they have this expansion, and they update the products and upgrade the products, and they open, let's say, 135 franchise. That's okay. What I'm saying, he can only do the expansion. He can only increase the sales. It's not about only increasing the sales. It's important, but that's not the transformation. The potential is still the same. We're just talking about the volume. We're just talking about the subject of money. But about the transformation of the person? So the same person who goes to work from 7 to 11, his potential is also the same. It's under pressure. He doesn't know what to do. You see, he goes only to work and work harder. The other one also work harder, I'm not saying no, but earns only more money. It's the same situation. It's not about that. I'm saying how to transform, how they can transform from the perspective of the spirituality. That's what I'm talking about. Because if we say, okay, the financial point of view is the most important one, that's okay. That you don't need to listen to this anymore, of course. But I'm not talking about that only. I'm talking about that's fine, but we also need to do something new. And the question for this person is he going only to increase the volume of sales, or is he going to develop a new person in himself? That it's the pressure, why it's coming on that person. This is the pressure, and the pressure will be coming more and more in a different amount of volume. But why the pressure that's coming? What was the reason? Do we need that pressure? Yes, we do. Why? Because the only one thing we are here for on this earth, it's to build the certainty, nothing else. We and our job is to build certainty, nothing else. And sometimes we don't want to build the certainty, so the pressure comes in. And at the beginning it's the small one, and then it's bigger, bigger and bigger if we don't transform ourselves. So we say, you know, Michael, but I would like to have everything. In order to have everything, we have to lose everything. And in order to lose everything, we cannot do that in a month or in a year or in a 10 years time. It's a life lessons. It's a lifetime lessons. So the universe gives us the pressure in steps, but it will be giving all the time, non-stop, 365 days. It will be pressure all the time, and we better get used to it, because if we don't transform this pressure, it will be even higher. But we say sometimes, you know what, I think that I could jump it over and just get the certainty because I'm certain. It's not true, because the pain is sometimes so huge that and the pressure that we will not be able to jump it over. For example, let's say that you have a cheap car. I don't know what, from different countries a different car, right? So here, let's say, we could say it's a German old car called Trabant, and let's say that we have this car, and now let's say that we are asked to give away this car. That's okay. This car costs, I don't know, $1,000. So we just give away. Now you've got Lambo. And you are also under pressure, and you are being given the same question, you know, can you give it away? You see, the amount of pain is not the same. So we have to, first of all, pass lower range stress and pressure in order to get higher. So the person who is famous, of course, it has more difficult. It's much more difficult for this person to transform itself, to deal with the pressure, than the person sometimes who is more egoistical. Because this person who doesn't want to change, just want to stay the same all the time, it's more ego stuff in that person, because he doesn't want to change at all. This one, it's egomaniac, but at least he's changing and try to change and deals with the pressure somehow. The other one, most of the time, is complaining, so he doesn't want to do anything with the pressure, and that's the problem. But both of them have the same potential. You see what I'm saying? The problem is, and the video I'm recording, it's that we should ask ourselves, and this is what we really don't know. We really don't know how to deal with the pressure and why the pressure is coming. So the pressure, why it's coming, more or less you know now, but we don't know how to deal. What is the key to deal with the pressure? Usually we think that we know, that we should just confront with it and deal, but in which way? for every single person is something else. Maybe the rich man knows, you see, maybe I should be even more rich. That's not dealing with the pressure. Maybe the famous person says, my body is so perfect, so I need to stay perfect, my body. And I will just pay attention to this. It's not about that. The person won already all rewards and should stay this way, but this will not allow the pressure to transform their life. No way. So the person doesn't know what to do. So first of all, we should know what to do exactly, and that's very difficult. And then on the top of that, we should implement the pressure. And it's very, very difficult to do it, because I'm not talking about just the problem itself. It's about something which is really painful in us. And there is a story in my book that I heard. It's quite famous story in the Bible, that there was a lady who didn't have food for herself and for a child, and she was about just to eat the dinner and then die. And so she was under huge pressure, right? It's not about that somebody says something or I have to go and face a tough meeting. What kind of pressure is that? We say, oh, I'm just dealing with that. You see, I'm not afraid of pressure. That's not the pressure. We wouldn't even go there if we don't have to. We just go there most of the time because we don't want to lose our position. What kind of pressure is that? So she was under the pressure. And on the top of that, a prophet came, Elijah, to her and says, you know, I am hungry. Can you give me your food? No. Now, you see, that's the pressure on pressure. It's not a joke. Of course, she gave it the food and the miracle happened. And then after many years, the child died. So she took this child and went to him to resurrect the child, and that's what he actually did. But my question to you is, do you think that if in first place the child died, she would have had so huge certainty that she would take the child to this prophet to resurrect the child? Would she not believe, but she could have the certainty, emunah in Hebrew? Impossible. You see, the pressure was so huge. What kind of pressure? The person is dead. That's the pressure I'm talking about. We have no idea about the pressure. So, first of all, she actually had to pass a different kind of pressure, transform, to build up certainty. And what was that? When she was hungry, she didn't have even food. She wouldn't survive another few days. But she passed this. So she dealt with a different kind of pressure. She transformed this pressure. And not only transform, but she knew what to do. And she did that physically. So the key in our life is to know what to do with the pressure exactly we are under right now, and do it in the right way. And do it in the right way. So I hope you will kind of think about it, paraphrase it. What for you might be the pressure? What you should really do with it, and think about your potential. Think about honestly about your potential, whether or not we are doing still the same, just increasing whatever we increase, or we are really changing and we know what to do. I wish you all the best.